Welcome, channel makers. I'm Julia. Got Ricky here. And we also have Peter Hollins here. So you might know him as an a cappella singer, or maybe you've never heard of him, but he has millions of followers, and here's the thing. He has a wealth of YouTube knowledge. I mean, this is unique. You're not going to get to talk to somebody very often who knows this much, has this much experience with mentoring and thinking about YouTube strategy and trying different things and experiencing different things. He's been on the platform for over 14 years. He's very OG. So we're going to just soak up all of his knowledge here. And with the inspiration tab, this is kind of what inspired a lot of this conversation. Is YouTube recently came out with this new thing called the inspiration tab. And we were glad that they're going in that direction because we think that kind of thing is very important, but it was a little bit underwhelming because we've had the pleasure of playing with Spotter. So in comparison, seeing the inspiration tab was like, oh, okay, I'll play with it so that we can research it and let you know what you might be able to do with it, but really, we just want to get back to
when they announced it at Made on YouTube, when I first heard about it, I was kind of like, oh man, like what's this going to mean for Spotter? Mm-hmm. And now I'm seeing it start to roll out and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's fine.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm just so glad to have you here, Peter. Let's go ahead and jump in, and why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so like Julia said, I've been around for about 14 years doing the dorky a cappella music. Even Pitch Perfect the movie is based upon my wife and I. The Bellas of Pitch Perfect are like the DeVisi University of Oregon group. My wife's was the first words in the book. Like the entire a cappella world is very strong in our hearts. We're a very big fish in the smallest tiny pond in the entire world, and that's how I found my following. But most people don't know that I also advise and educate and teach my peers. I'm very, very passionate about that. I was the first advisor to Patreon. I consult many creator education and creator economy companies, and I'm just so excited to be here and show you what I'm doing and why I'm leaning in currently at Spotter as a in-house creator, working hand in hand with the product and engineering team and making sure these features are the absolute best in class, and so excited to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, it was intriguing when you reached out to Ricky, to us, that you were so excited about this tool because you're not like a YouTube tool person. You're just a regular creator, well, above average creator, regular creator.
Whatever.
And you were so excited about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think like this creative suite that we have is absolutely vital to incorporate in your workflow as a creator. Anything that we can do to have data-backed reasons of choosing the videos that we create, it just provides such a confidence that you don't have anywhere else, other than like you literally spending hours and hours and hours creating playlists of, well, I think this is working for this channel, so I think I'm going to make my own iteration of it. Or everybody needs so many thumbnails when you release a video now, because it's directly inputted into the product itself. It's like, please give us 3 thumbnails, and you're like, great, here's 3. Oh, now I maybe should do another test because that didn't work out as much as I wanted. And we allow that to be accelerated and to have reasons why you choose things, and it's just a lot of fun.
It's funny because like I've sat through talks at conferences and I've talked with other creators about their processes over the years for how they brainstorm and how they try to get their whole teams of people to help them come up with ideas and then work through those ideas. And that's what, like, we've worked through numerous processes. Julia helped us create each one, and then it was like, okay, well, that's pretty good. Well, let's build on it. And it evolved so much over time, and now it's kind of like, do a video all by myself.
We can do what we used to be doing with our whole team across days, sometimes by ourselves within hours. And so for that reason, we've actually way upped our content production. So before we were publishing once a week, we're even starting to go to every other week, considering that for a while. Now we are publishing 2 videos a week on Channel Makers. Don't hold us to that. If we miss a publishing day, sorry, we're doing our best.
That's a cool case study, though.
And sometimes even more.
Yeah, I mean, I think cool. I built up to like a dozen people, like W-2 workers, and doing like all the dorky businesses I was doing, and some of the brainstorming sessions are some of the most fun things, and I think that human element is so important. I would never lose that, but I think one of the coolest things about this creative suite that Spotter Studio has is that it allows you to come to the table with so much wealth of ideas that are data backed on things that are already working for some people within your own vertical. and you can ideate like 50 and then bring the 5 best that you like to that meeting, and really like provide so much more value to your company, to yourself. And the confidence, I think, really just it is so important. And as you like touched on, the word creator burnout in general is like so overused, but the feeling of anxiety relief that you can get as a creator and utilizing this tool, I think, is really real. Even if you haven't experienced it in its full glory of like, oh my gosh, this algorithm and this hamster wheel I'm on is really difficult. At some point, if you really are lucky enough to do this for a full-time living, you will. And this is one of those things that slow it down. And I think this is like the first time truly. And like on a macro, it's like we've been fighting AI for a long time. And I think this is the first time it's like, well, actually, let's have our own AI to fight back on the AI. And let's have our own entire creative team in our pocket. And anytime we can make somebody go from a part-time to a full-time creator doing what they love. I mean, I already said it like on the intro. I think in general, that's the one thing we can guarantee to make this world a better place by allowing people to do something that provides them with joy and inspiration and passion. Then you'll treat your common man and woman like much better and with more respect and love. So I feel like that's one of the things this can do, and I really enjoy being able to like lean in on my first like more of a job that I've ever had in my entire life, because I've always just like most probably people watching like we're entrepreneurs at heart. We're all creating these digital media companies, whether or not we're like in the first innings, or we're about to take the first swing, or we're like in the 5th inning and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired and I need a break. You kind of don't get one, which is like, hard. And I think anything that we can get to like give some of the relief, it's like, you got to try it, So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm excited to be talking to you guys. And that's why I'm taking like one of my first breaks from like singing full time ever, really, since I started singing when I was forced into it when I was a freshman in high school. So, yeah.
So what initially got you excited about Spotter? And did you realize the full potential right away, or was it kind of a gradual process?
I mean, I think it's doublefold. Like as a human, after just doing so much entrepreneurial work and having so many employees, no matter what the culture you create at your own company of being able to like please tell me no when my ideas are bad. Don't be just yes people, that really got tiring. Have to answer the questions no matter what. I needed a break. I also I lost my voice for 2 years, which is paramount when you're running multiple businesses backed off of your voice and all these other employees and their families are counting on you. So I needed to have a situation where I was being taught on a day-by-day basis, where I could learn from people smarter than me, be inspired by building something that's much bigger than anything that I could do by myself. I mean, there's so many reasons, right? Like we all want to have reasons to wake up in the morning. And I think like one of the coolest things about what you guys get to do for your job is you get to truly like make a difference in people's lives, to let them, support their family, do what they love. Like, I think it's like we're kind of along the lines in the same like vertical of like why we do what we do. And yes, we need to make money and we need to support, and a job is a job. And in the end, like it's such a good reason to wake up. And I see that as that. It's a cool opportunity.
I can definitely relate there, that being part of something that helps other people to be able to do what they want to do and be able to support themselves, their families, and all that. That's basically like the mission statement of our company. No, so I love that. And I think, I can definitely relate as somebody who's been creating for a very long time. The little control that we have over how our content performs, right? Like you said, we've been fighting this AI forever. There's these algorithms that we're constantly trying to figure out and trying to make sure that our stuff is going to get seen by people, and that they'll like it. It's kind of like take all like the worst things about high school and social life in high school, and it's like, let's just like explode that. It's like, are they gonna like me today? I hope they like me today, right? It's hard being a creator, and
yeah,
so
oh my gosh,
anyway,
every time
you
dive into the YouTube studio and it doesn't give you the feeling that you want is just like such a crushing blow to that day, that week sometimes, especially if you're a creator that doesn't have a consistent output, where you can like, well, I'll get them next time. But like, I worked so hard on this and I slaved over it, and I thought there was no way this wasn't going to work. And, if we go back to your comments regarding like, YouTube creating their own iteration of some type of ideation AI, like it's really, really, really awesome that they're providing that to everyone. It's also in a place, in my opinion, that doesn't provide me joy. YouTube Studio is a place in which I go to work, I research, and not always do I get good feelings from it. And even when I do, it's always like, okay, well, that worked and I got to do another one. I don't want to go there to spend most of my time in research and ideating. So, anytime a smaller company with less people that they have to say yes to will be able to beat one that is very focused on shareholder value and doing what's right for the overall company versus like perhaps maybe the creator themselves. And so I think that, at least my very biased perspective of working hand in hand with these product and engineering team and like the heart and ethos of the head of product and Rob Gable, the chief strategy officer, and the people that I know dearly as humans, like they're doing this to really make a difference. And I can speak to that. And not that I couldn't speak to that there's amazing people at YouTube and always have been. Like they've given me everything. I've built everything on it. But so the coolest thing is like we're doing it. We're building fast. We're building for the creators. We're building alongside them. We're only building it because like the creators at Spotter, like the people that they've been working with for almost over a decade now, like specifically asked for it right after OpenAI came out with their first iteration of GPT. Yeah, I'm just excited about it. There's so many options out there to use, but this is absolutely the best.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a question in my mind, and I wouldn't be working with a company that wasn't the best at what they do. And we could talk about it. I could show it to you if you want me to show it to you, or I could like walk you through it, like whatever you want.
Yeah, let's go into it. I mean, because I think that we're always trying to find ways to give our channel makers the same experience we have here, because we get to have a team and we get to bounce ideas off of each other. And so I'm constantly thinking like, how can they replicate this? How can they replicate this when they probably have a 9 to 5 and they're working on their videos in the evening? This isn't their full-time job like it is for us. And they don't have a team of people to bounce ideas off of. And Spotter can kind of give you that space of, here's a bunch of ideas that you wouldn't have thought of. You can say, well, that's not quite it. And then it'll adjust. It's really good. And I'm noticing that some people that have known about Spotter for a long time still are a little confused on how to use it. Let's get into it and kind of show how you use it and some examples of how creators can use it.
Let's dive in. With Spotter Studio, you can research video ideas effectively, brainstorm off of those ideas in your own style, and project manage those ideas to help you create better videos more consistently. You can spot outlier videos, generate hundreds of thumbnails all in one place, and collaborate with your team right there. We're going to start with the absolute basics of how to brainstorm one idea, how you can follow creators that inspire you, and make amazing ideas with data-driven metrics. You'll then advance to researching techniques to build out your ideation pipeline for the next 6 months in the next 60 minutes. Now, if you don't know what ideation means, it's basically brainstorm, so stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how to use Spotter Studio and how it can help you make videos more consistently. As creators, we all know how hard it can be to stay on top of everything from researching ideas, brainstorming new concepts, and keeping project organized. I know I was never really great at that. We often jump between different tools. It's impossible to have everything in one place, and that is why we built Spotter Studio's homepage, to give you a single spot where you can manage your creative process from start to finish. At the top of the page, you can easily brainstorm a new video idea by just typing in what your video is about. Below that, you can see your videos, which will help you manage your video projects. At the page's bottom, you can find outliers from creators you follow to help find overperforming videos with ease. You can click See More after Outliers and the project page to explore those pages, or click the flyout wheel at the top left to go to the full view. From the homepage, you can also access support, our online community, and Spotter Studio settings. In the top right, make sure to click that heart icon because it is where all of your saved items go. You can also start a new video project and go to your profile. So in short, the homepage is your creative home base. It is where you and your team should start every day. Whether you're researching, brainstorming, or managing projects, everything you need is right here to help you stay on track and work smarter. So let's try typing in I sang on 7 continents in 7 days. It would be expensive, but super freaking awesome. As creators, we all know that a great video starts with a great idea, but sometimes it's super tough to keep the creativity flowing. I know after getting through like 400 music videos, I could barely think of another idea, and I wish I had this. We've all been there. We've been stuck. What idea do we do? So that's why we came up with Brainstorm. It's like having your own creative partner that helps you shape and refine ideas while staying true to your unique style, while staying true to you.
which is the whole point of this. It's a collaborator. After you share your idea, Brainstorm comes up with different title options for you. From there, you have 5 options to fine-tune your idea and your title. First, rephrase, which rewrites the title in a new way. Shorten, which does exactly what you think it would do. Explode, which tweaks your title based on YouTube's best practices, but also gives you so many different windows in which to look at this idea through. It's like, honestly, one of my faves. Mood shift, which gives you title ideas that match different emotions. And this but, which basically allows you to take it into any direction you want. Almost like you type in whatever you want and you send it in that direction. Anyway, let's click my personal favorite, Explode. Now you can save the titles that you like, add them to your saved items up top on the right, generate more options, or keep brainstorming. This can go on as long as you like. My biggest pro tip, as somebody who uses this all the time, is to try at least 5 title options. Titles are great to have. You never know if when you come back and like, actually, that third title would really work. The video isn't performing as well as I would like, so let's try a new one. When you're in the idea phrase, more is better. And it can always send you in a new direction. So awesome. Now say you want to workshop this idea further and think through the video concept. At the bottom bar, let's click Concept. Now, Brainstorm is helping you think through what concepts the video could be based on the primary title that you already selected. You can continue brainstorming by getting more variations in the style, exploding, or refining the idea with this but. Let's see some variations and keep a couple that we like. Okay, seeing that we now have a title and a concept, let's create a thumbnail to refine this idea even further by clicking on Thumbnail. See, incredible. One very important thing to note, these thumbnails are only here for inspiration, not to use just as is. You can brainstorm variations and choose different expressions, surprise, sad, happy, or you can really take the wheel and go into this but and put in anything. You could say, now I want to be on Mars, now on the moon, actually I'm in the ocean, and it will work. Let's keep 2 concepts and add them to our options. Actually, let's do a third. You can see all of the thumbnails, titles, and concept options that we kept while brainstorming. Similarly to title, I recommend at least 3 to 5 iterations of each. At any time during the brainstorm, you can adjust your inputs by adding text, sliding a scale for the ideas, or to be similar to your outliers or related outliers from videos your audience also watches. By that, I mean double downing on things that work for you, or leaning into things that worked for other channels your audience also watches. Selecting your thumbnail style from 3 styles, sketch, concept, and realistic, adding a description of your audience, or including other details. One of my favorite features in Spotter Studio is to use the input to steer brainstorm. As a creator, I can have an entirely new idea mid-brainstorming session and very quickly steer brainstorm in my new inspired direction. Now let's head back to Project to exit this brainstorming session for now. Now, projects in Studio are designed to keep you organized as you work on your next big video. We all know how important it is to stay organized, but it's easier said than done. Between juggling ideas in development, post-production tasks, and managing multiple publisher dates, this is overwhelming. Being a creator is so hard. It's not as easy as it looks from the outside. And staying on top of everything leaves creators like myself buried under a mountain of sticky notes and to-do lists, which just give me so much anxiety. So that's why we created projects, to have an all-in-one planner to help you stay organized. For example, we've got this project that we just made called I Sang on 7 Continents in 7 Days. As always, you can brainstorm more thumbnails, titles, and concepts by just clicking the brainstorm button. Now, you also have the options on the flyout menu where you can see saved thumbnails, titles, and concepts right here on the options. If you like any of those options more than the one that you currently have, you just click the Make Primary button to set that title as your main one. You can also rename the project, duplicate it, or delete it. Also, when you hover over the 3-dot button on the thumbnail, you'll get options to add a new one, download the image, or delete it. For now, let's just add new. You can describe the kind of thumbnail you want and keep brainstorming, or if you've already got a thumbnail idea, you can upload an existing one. A really good thing to do is take the outliers and reverse engineer the things that are working for the creators that you chose, that you started following, because starting from there will already give you data-backed reasons to ideate based off of those compositions. For titles and concepts, you've got similar options. Keep brainstorming with Brainstorm, or you can add new, copy, or delete ideas as you refine them. You can also jump into the idea workshop to take your concept further. Now, I recommend choosing general so you have the most story elements to choose from, but I love goal, rising action, hook, climax, resolution, and specifically B-plot because trying to get us to make these long videos because they're taking over the living room. So check out B-plot. Think it might help if you elongate that video. Now, once you've worked through your video idea, head to the top right corner where you'll find 3 tabs: Properties, Notepad, and History. In Properties, you can change the project from private, which means only you can see it, to team so that your team members can collaborate. As your idea evolves, you can update the status to show where the video is in your planning pipeline. You can also set a publish date, target video length, and add sponsors. And you can pick the video type. You just keep everything organized and right on schedule right there. Now, don't forget, you can add notes in Notepad. You can use the History tab to track changes you or your team have made along the way. Because with projects, you can keep your best ideas organized and ensure that they move smoothly from concept to creation so that your best ideas come to life. Now, that was just a quick overview of how you can start using Spotter Studio to make better videos more consistently. We built this tool for creators and with creators just like you and I to help all of us produce content that's not only better, but more consistent. It is a powerful system that is easy to use and fully tailored to you and your channel. I am so excited to see what you all create. Please, please, please DM me, @mention me on all socials. I can't wait to see what you're making. Reach out. I'll make sure that my team puts it in front of me and I will respond to as many of you as possible. Do not hesitate. You can also find me on Idea Lab, our community, so reach out to me there. We are here to support you, and I cannot wait to see how Spotter Studio helps you on your creative journey. There's much more to come. So I think like one of my favorite things that I get to do at Spotter is really evangelize, channels and creators and companies like yourself that are providing your own platform to tell people what we're doing by offering 2 entire free months of this, I think, amazing Creative Suite, very biased. And so you guys have a link that you can share with your audience and they can use it for 2 entire months and see if they like it. And you could get so much done in 2 months. I'm just saying, like, you could like plot out your entire year or like 2 years of like all these videos you want to create and why you want to create them. So like, I don't know. I think you guys should like put your link up on the screen and be like, come on, click a thing.
We'll put it in the card. We'll put it in the description. And in case you're watching on TV, we'll plaster it right here somewhere on the screen.
Should do like a QR code that moves slowly across the screen. I'll do the theme song. It'll be like, dude, channel makers, yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you sign up this week, in the next week from now, we will host a live call and we will take your questions and we'll open up Studio, we'll show it to you, we'll show you how everything works, and Peter's gonna be there. I'm volunteering you.
I literally just said it was an idea, so I think that's fair.
Sweet. Well, thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, y'all.
Yeah, awesome. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you for helping our audience figure this all out. You have so many good ideas. I wonder if you're actually behind Spotter, just typing out the ideas as people ask.
Yeah, just really quickly.
They say it's
the secret?
It's actually Peter's intelligence.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know about that.
See you.
I see y'all.